So today with Kevin, I'm going to teach him the turnaround exercise. Okay, so we've already laid the foundations for this, and I've already done it with Mouse. So we've already shown how every other exercise that we've been doing so far has basically built into this exercise. So what I want now to do is I want to teach this horse to follow his nose and move his feet around in a circle. He's giving to pressure. It's a really nice exercise. It's a really simple exercise. But what I tend to find is that people tend to rush it, and therefore they don't do it correctly, and the horse doesn't get the full benefit out of it. So I'm just going to make sure as I step through, and I did with the other colts as well, as I step through and show you the exercise, I want to make sure that you understand that it is important to do particular parts of this exercise in an order and without rushing. So you can see first thing I've done is I've put the rope around the wrong side of the horse's neck, and I'm holding on to the halter end. Okay? It's important that you hold on to it. Now this colt, he has never liked things around his back end from the get-go, so I know he's going to be a lot more reactive than the other colt was. The other colt took to it like he'd done it 100 times. Whereas this fella, he's going to probably jump around a little more. So I need to take my time. Now, when I get it to a position where I can hold it, all I'm going to do is just let it sit there. Okay? I'm not asking him to do anything. Now, can you imagine if you did this exercise without first desensitising your horse to the rope? It could get very interesting. Now, what I'm going to do when he relaxes is I am going to let go of the halter end, and I'm going to step backwards. Now, something I didn't show with the other colt is how which way you step changes how difficult the exercise is for the horse. So if I step straight back this way, it's quite doable for the colt to turn around and face me. Okay? But you can increase the difficulty of the exercise as you go along. You can see he was a little reactive with that. He wasn't super quiet about it. So take your time. And put the rope on the wrong side of his neck, holding onto the halter. Take your time to get the rope over his back end. And then wait. Let him get the feel for it. Let him realise that it's nothing to worry about. And then step away. So again, I'm stepping away from him at 90 degrees. It makes it fairly easy for him to turn. It's really important that you get your horse to take those couple of steps towards you at the end of the exercise. It just makes it more of a forward movement. And that's what we're about teaching these horses to follow their nose in this exercise as a forward movement, not going backwards. Now this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to step more towards the camera, and that's going to make the turn harder for the colt because he's got to step around further to get back out. Now what I'd ultimately like is I would like him to not show that resistance at the end. You can see when we finish the turn, he kind of gets stuck in his feet. And what I'm ultimately looking for is the whole exercise to be a flowing movement for the colt to go step, 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 and keep stepping forward. Okay, so we change sides. Straight away, I got a better response. You can already see, generally, how much more relaxed he's getting about having that rope around his back end, about the pressure being on his bum. Now, if he gets into a bind here, I'll just let him go, okay? There will be no damage done by me letting him go. You know, if you're worried about doing this and you're worried about, your horse taking make sure you do it in a fairly small area, so that if you do lose your horse like that, you know, they're not running around. One of the things that we do with these colts when they first get a halter on them is turn them loose in this round yard. However many colts there are for that year, we turn them all loose in this round yard and let them drag their halters and leads around. So that's why just then when this colt got away, he actually wasn't worried about the halter and lead dragging behind him. Now, taking the time, if he goes to step off. Now see how I've got hold of the rope around his bum, but there's no pressure. Okay, I'm not pulling. I'm not going to ask him to step out of the turn while he's stressed about the rope. As he starts to relax, he wants to follow me. So I'm going to give his head a little push away. There. Okay, he's only a baby. He's never done this exercise before. If he gets a little confused, I'm going to go, how could I make it better? What did I do wrong that could have prevented stuff from happening? And what happened the time he left on me was his head was following me as I was standing here, and I didn't think to give him a little push to say, follow your nose that way. Okay? Now I won't have to do that again. We've kind of set the ground rules, and he knows now what I'm asking for. So, you know, he'll get better and better at following his nose to the point where, you know, I just start to step back and he will already step through the turn without me even pulling on the rope. But we'll show that in a couple of weeks when we do a bit more and we get him going with it.